All right, we are gonna take a look at some plugins on the Craft 3 plugin store, and I thought that might be an interesting just sort of exploration here. It's actually been a little bit since I have looked at what's been added. There is this recently added section up here. I'm not sure what the rules are for like how recently, this week maybe, last 2 weeks. I'm not sure what they have that set to. So I thought I would just look through what is new to me and check out some new plugins and kind of talk through those and see what we got here. Let's see. So I see we got all sorts of different things like widgets. Social networking is pretty straightforward. Connect to the Dribble API, that seems pretty cool. Tweet field search widget. Authenticated Twitter API requests. Let's see. Wonder if I could actually put that in. Just go to full screen here. So what I was thinking was, I just want to go back to the plugin store. There was the Twitter one. So let's try. I haven't used actually this one. This is by Duct, so this is, of course, going to be solid. Let's have a little coffee here. Just went and voted in the Texas primary election. So that's always good. All right, so that's all installed. So let me go to my plugins. Here it is right here, enabled. Go to settings. So I have to connect my Twitter account. All right, first thing I need to do is unblock Twitter, since I have that blocked. All right, connect. Missing client credentials key from options. All right, don't know what that is. Configure OAuth and click, configure OAuth, there we go. Need to follow the instructions. So it's my website, callback, consumer key. All right. Let's see. All right, we're gonna have to take this over to here really quick. Definitely don't want to be adding this stuff on the live stream. But what I'm gonna do is just configure this really quickly. So I'm gonna log in with my personal account, create a new app, tweet RyanIreland.com. Set my callback URL here. And create my Twitter application. All right, so let's get my consumer API key. Sorry that I'm doing that here. I just there it is. No sense in putting my secret token up on the screen, so we'll save that. All right, so now if I drop that back over here, I can click connect. authorize. There we are. All right. So what happens now? I didn't read any instructions, so I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I'm gonna guess there's like probably a field type maybe that I add. Tweet, there we go. Tweet, write. I assume you write what you want to tweet, write what you want to tweet. So we'll save that. That's in the blog group. I need to assign that. Let's see. Oh, I gotta assign that to all of my entry types. So put it there, save it, and here, save it, and here, save it. All right, so now, so this is one of the like link posts that I have from my site. Oh, I see. This is a tweet URL or ID. So I'm actually, I thought I was tweeting out, but I'm not, but I'm actually embedding a tweet. Interesting. See, I should have read the instructions. Let me go back. Let me go back. Tweet field, search widget embeds an authenticated Twitter API request. I must be able to do more than that. Let's go to the documentation. Oh, 404 for the docs. That's no good. Let's go to the changelog. Maybe the docs are here. Here we go. Twitter 2 documentation. Oh man, it's broken. Let's try again. It's a changelog. Well, that's no good. Oh, I'm on version 2 docs. Oh, it's trying to get me to go to the changelog. That's why it's a 404. Nope, that's not working either. All right. Well, guess I tried. Duck Twitter tree docs. Let's go here. Version 2 docs. There we go. I'm not sure those links are all broken, but I just went right to the branch. Looks like he has a branch for version 2 docs. All right. So introduction. Oh, I see. Got it. So I could actually add like, oops. Let's go back. Tweet fields. Paste a URL and use the tweet, like a profile image, tweet text, and others. Okay. That's pretty cool. It's not what I wanted. I thought I was actually tweeting out with it, but I guess not. Search widget. Allows you to keep an eye on important Twitter activity. Oh. All right. I guess I could use that. Let's see. So if I go to the dashboard, that's what we're talking about here is this widget. There's a Twitter search widget. So I can search for things like Majingo. Let's see what we find. There we go. All right. That's pretty handy. Might should use that for a project. So I thought I was going to be able to tweet out with this, but I guess not. All right, pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. I'm actually going to go ahead and go to my plugins and uninstall this one. And remove it. All right. Let's go back to our sample site. So plugin store. So I know GraphQL, that's actually installed. CP clear cache, fewer clicks to get clearing. All right. Sprout list, retcon, a collection of powerful twig filters for modifying HTML. Cool. Let's see what else is recently added. Country select field type. I know that exists in Commerce, but I guess it doesn't exist in normal Craft. Another 404 in the docs. Let's try to get the docs working. That would be super great when someone's trying to use your add-on, that the docs are working. Random key generator, Sprout fields and lists. This is a first-party one, I know that. All right, let's go back. What else should we do here? I'm actually I don't have my chat open. Let me do that really quick. And mute myself. Let's see. Pop that open. There we are. All right, so I want to, this is a, so this is Craft CMS plugin exploration. Looking at new Craft plugins available in the plugin store. Update. All right. Live. Let's see. Let's make sure. All right, it updated. Great. All right. And I want to post live with Craft plugin store. Exploring new plugins and what they do. All right. So what do we got else here? Readability, get statistics on your text. I've seen that one before. Dumper. This is a plugin that gives you dump and die, which is pretty handy. An easy way to inspect craft objects in your templates, view entire arrays or individual entries or templates or elements. Yeah, it's pretty handy. So if I install this, let's take a look. I'm gonna go over and open up. Hello there, Soul of Jazzman. Thanks for jumping in. Let's see here. Where are we at? We are on, go 4. So projects. I'm just trying to find the code here. Django.com v4. All right, pstorm. open that up. So I wanted to look at Dumper, which we now have installed. So if I go to settings. Oh, interesting. So I like to use this command. That's on full screen. That's why. I like to use this command in for PHP Storm called pstorm, but it looks like if you do that, it didn't open the directory. What did I run? Did I actually run just pstorm? Oh yeah, I didn't tell it to open actually this. That's why. I thought if pstorm was closed, it wouldn't open it. Oops, that's not what we want. That is the craft documentation. But I do want to open this project. There we are. All right. Let's go into a template here. And now I wanted to go back to my plugins, which I have Dumper. Let's look at the docs. Hey, some docs that work. So you just use D and then whatever you want to dump out, or then dump and die, or DD. So I could do DD and then let's say posts. And that'll dump that out and then die, basically kill everything. So nothing processes afterward. And let's see. So if I go to Django for .dev. Ah, that's pretty cool. So it's dumping out the what did I have there? It was posts here, which I set. And this is actually set from JSON, so it's a little bit different. Like I'm not dumping out like an entry object or anything like that. I mean, I certainly could. Just dumping out some JSON here that I've set using Leafer, which is a plugin I created to pull in JSON displayed in the templates. That's kind of nice. It gives you this nice formatting here. This is super handy. Makes it really easy to kind of read it, way better than the default output. So the default would be if you do, well, it's not going to work here. If you do dump posts like that, this is the default twig dumping tool. And this actually will also only work if you're in dev mode, but I am. Now you can see how this, I mean, it's usable. It's also dumping out a whole bunch of stuff, but you know, I can certainly kind of figure out what I have here. There are other plugins, like if I fire up Chrome, maybe pull up Chrome here. Oh, I thought I had an extension for Chrome that actually formatted this, but maybe that's just for JSON actually. I believe is what it's for. But I'm sure there's extensions for browsers too that do this. But I kind of like this this output here. This is pretty nice. This is the what's the plugin? Oops. So this is the Dumper plugin right here by Studio Espresso. Very cool. All right, let's see what else we got. I kind of like that. Like that's something that you might want to have in your base install if you like that output. I do wonder though, let me look at the docs again. If using Dumper, all right. So does it say anything about restricting it to dev mode. So I do wonder if it does need to be restricted, or if it is restricted here. What's the variable? Let's go back. Oh, it's just a twig extension. So it probably is then. Let's try. Let's see. Because I know dump only works in dev mode. Let's see. This actually is going to be under config, general. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so dump goes away because it's not known. But what about it's not known when you're not in dev mode? Okay, so this works no matter if you're in dev mode or not. I think it'd be cool to be able to have that be only for dev mode. I like that. I like that ability to do that. It also keeps you from accidentally dumping things. Soul of Jazzman, any chance you will cover handling a template for work portfolios? Interesting. So I have an idea, and I forget, let me go grab something really quick. So I don't think I have for work portfolio. So you mean kind of like just creating a setup to manage like the projects that you've done so you can display them? I think that's probably what you mean. So I'm just looking through, I just have like these index cards here where I keep track of everything that I want to do as I have ideas. And I thought I had one. Yeah, one idea I had that's not really like that, but might be similar is creating an employee directory in Craft CMS. Like just how that would work, how you could implement that both on the Craft side and the front end. But I haven't thought of doing a template for a work portfolio, but that might be cool for like this venue here, like a live stream. I think it might be cool to do that as like another mini project. So when I first started the live stream, I was doing the that like build a blog in Craft 3 thing, and I did like a few weeks of that. But it might be cool to kind of do something like that, build like a portfolio site in Craft 3. It might be kind of cool to do that. In the courses that I have, let's see. We build in Up and Running with Craft 3. We build the site about, it's called Crafty Coffee. Actually, don't know if it's even, yeah. And so that's the kind of site we build there. And I haven't done a work portfolio, but maybe I'll do that. That might be a good one for streaming here on Twitch. All right. So let's flip back here to, so we're looking at dumper. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go back to the plugin store. See what else we got here. Let me see. Actually, you know what? I didn't post to Twitter. Let me do that really quick. Now that I am live, exploring new plugins in the Craft 3 plugin store. Have a favorite? Let me know. All right, just gonna post it to Twitter. I actually forgot to do that. There we go. All right. So let's keep going here and looking. I'm going to bring the chat back up so I can see that. So let's see, extend your templates. I think these are some of the fun things. This is Twig Perversion by Marion. This is the one that I was talking about last week in the live stream that I did with Andrew Welch, where we talked about, Craft plugin development, but we talked about this briefly about Twig Perversion as well. So Amazon S3. So let's look at what else we got. Only for Craft 3. Value store. Easily store some loose values into files. Interesting. Super big. That's kind of cool. Let's just quick look at the docs. So the docs are really important for me when I'm looking at plugins, because I just like to see what, you can learn a lot from looking at the implementation examples of not only what the plugin does and how to use it, but also its capabilities. And that's, if your plugin is more capable than your documentation examples, then you should add more documentation examples. Because the simplest example is sometimes helpful, but sometimes I'm looking, or people are looking for, like, can this thing solve my problem? And, sometimes we just look as far as the docs. And if it's not documented that it can solve my problem, then I might not choose it. So, and that's especially important as the plugin store flips over to being selling plugins. All right, so, oh, interesting. So I can do store, put craft value store, then this thing. I want to try this. And then do store put key value. All right, so I'm setting a variable to create this. And then I say do, and I put key value. Interesting. So that must be an existing file. Let's look at the methods here in value store. Store values are saved as JSON in a file. Interesting. Usage. So this is just from the library that this is based on, or is built on. So we can get has, so you can get Boolean, you can iterate over. Interesting. All right, I want to try that out sometime. Let's see what else we got. Go back. So access logs from the CP, automatically add HTTP link headers, readability. I think I've used that one before. Auto login, async queue. All right, so there's only for Craft 3. Let's look at, I don't know what in case you missed it means, but so those look like the first party ones. All right, let's kind of go through here. Security, auto login, sprout encode email, logout redirect, random key, GitHub integration for social, restrict, serve password protected files. Okay, so you can reach into non-public directories and share the files. All right. Assets. Lots of cool stuff here for assets like pick puller, image resizer, which is one here, and there's also image optimized by Andrew Welch. I've done the Amazon S3 before. Widgets, assets, utilities. What do we got in utilities? Probably some cool stuff. CMS plugin to generate content models from JSON data. Hey, that's pretty cool. So plugin for importing and exporting content models from Craft CMS using JSON. All right. Have my attention. All right, I'm not gonna do that on this one, but I'm gonna do it here. So utilities. Where was that again? There it is, architect. Let's install it. So it's enabled. All right, there it is, architect. Okay, so put your JSON import here, or I can export. So I can export this whole site or just a section. Hey, this is pretty cool. Migrations. I'll stay here for right now. So let's say I just want to export this blog section. I'm gonna click export. And it gives me these fields. So field groups, sections, and then the fields, and I can just take this and copy it. And then let's say I want to recreate that over here. This is actually really handy as you're migrating stuff from one environment to the other. So I'm in a different site now. Let me install that same thing. Oops, utilities, architect. We'll try this out. All right, architect, and I can paste in my JSON. This is my import data that I just exported from the other site, so let's import it. Oh, okay, this has already been taken. All right, so the blog was already taken because I already have that as a section, right? Yeah. Let's see. You know, we can trash it because I don't need it. Let's get rid of it. All right, now let's go into architect, drop in it, and hit import. Oh, the field group has already been taken, but let's see if it created anything here. So it's being smart, it's not blowing over stuff. All right, so it's got my section with my different entry types. And it's got my field, the external URL field at least. Let's see why that didn't. Entry type, section handle, where are the fields? Oh, I think because body was already in there. All right, some generic fields, so I can see why that didn't work. So, but it did create the one that wasn't there. But if I go to section, to my entry types, so it doesn't have, well, I actually don't have body. It didn't create everything. Interesting. Let's import again. All right, so I know that it's already been taken. Oh, no field type, that's why. So I need to have this field type installed, which would be redactor. So that makes sense. Let's install that. Hi, Pixiel97. I know a little bit about WordPress. I don't deal with it a lot. So what was I? Oh yeah, I was going to go back to architect and try to import again since I didn't have the field type. All right, so that's been taken. So we should have everything now. Let's see. Yeah, body. Now, did it assign them though? Let's see. No. All right. So definitely need to, I'm just kind of taking one thing and throwing it to another site. So without any planning, but this is pretty cool. This is called Architect. And I used it over here and exported out all my stuff. So if I was to bring this into a brand new site, so let's say I'm going to do make directory use architect. And so let's just say I set up a new site. And here, let's try that. So we're just going to set up a new site really quick, and then I'm going to try to export out and import without any other stuff in the way. So let that run. Let's see. So that's my export data. All right, let's go back to the store here. So GraphQL I'm going to cover in a lot of depth in an upcoming course. So wait for that. Just kind of poking around here. Wordsmith. Oh, environment label, so you don't forget where you are. It's kind of interesting. Dev. All right. It's a big old red bar. Let's see. Scout. Discuss. Integrates the Discuss comedy system into Craft 3 websites using, including SSO. That's kind of cool. Postmark adapter. That's good. So Sentry links up to the Sentry service. Nupo backup, fully integrated backup solution for Craft CMS, backup to Amazon. Nice. So when was I talking about backups? I don't remember now. In a recent stream, I was talking about backups. But so what I do, I was talking about, I think it was on Friday. But what I like to do for backups is, there's all sorts of tools. One of them I talked about was CodeGuard, but there's all sorts of other tools out there. This looks like one that will give you a little bit of craft software that will then connect to other services, which is also handy. It'll let you choose what you want to back up. What I do is I back up to an S3 bucket, and I have a sort of a fairly simple script that runs, that does that nightly, weekly, and monthly. And I actually only back up the database because the code itself is always in the repository, and then assets are done via remote volumes, like up to an S3 bucket. So the only sacred thing would be the database. And there's other ways of getting around that, which I talked about on Friday in terms of like database replication. And AWS, you can use RDS, so you can have replicating database servers across multiple availability zones. But this, that's kind of a long tangent, but this is looks like a nice backup tool that lets you choose what you want to back up and kind of gives you a little UI layer to that. But all this stuff can be done by hand. But again, you'd have to write the code to make that happen or rely on code that's somewhere on the internet. And this looks like a nice sort of layer of making that easier if you're not interested in doing that. Here you go, contact form drip. Integrate your Craft CMS contact form with drip. So I use drip for email. So I'm gonna check that out. All right, splashing images. That's kind of cool. Oh, it connects right to Unsplash. Let's try that. So that is a big red bar right there. I'm going to look at this. Enter the text. Oh, interesting. So I can put in craft.app. What is the, is dev mode or? Is that what, I don't remember what it is. Craft.app. Yeah, I forget what the settings are. I actually have it in, I wrote the documentation for it. I should know. Let's see. Actually, not there. Is, where did I write that? Craft.app, core concepts, templating, functions, filters, tags. Oh, it's somewhere here. Services. Nope, that's not it. That's for plugin dev. Let's see. I don't know where it is now. Element queries. Oh, let's see. Changes in Craft 3. Let me just look for dev mode. Environment. Here we go. Environment variables. That's not what I was looking for. All right. I'll have to find it later. Anyway. Getting distracted here. Let me actually just do this. Let me go ahead and leave the page. Go to plugins. I want that bar to be confusing, so we'll just uninstall that for now. So splashing images I want to look at. So CP label. Oh, I can give it a different name. Okay, volume, that's where they should be saved. So let's look here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Latest curated, so I can grab some images. Latest. So I can add this. Oops, something went wrong. Probably because I don't have the settings set up right. That's probably why. Volume. So I don't have any volumes. All right. So what happens when you test things out live here, you have to kind of make sure you have everything set up right. So let's do a new volume. We'll do these as I'll just do images. Have public URLs, and this is images, and then the path. 1 second, let me find that. Oh, my project is up here. Let me just give me 1 second. Let's go into, actually I can do, oop, that's not what we want. CD Majingo for what is it called? Majingo.com. V4. We go into web. Make directory images. CD into images, and then copy it. All right. Now we can go back and drop in the path and then save. So now if I go to splashing images, like the basketball one. All right, so it's still saying something's wrong because I didn't set up my volume. There we go, save that. Now it should work. So I click. It's spinning. So I think it's gonna save it. Like, oh yeah, so image saved. That's pretty cool. It's actually really handy. I wish somebody would do this with like a paid stock photography site, like a Dreamtime or a, you know, whatever one of those things are. And then you have to authenticate, and then you have access right here to all of your stock photos. I don't really use stock photos a lot, but I have worked on projects where people do. So so if I go to assets now, also now I have this here. So it gives me the credit under title. So let's look here under settings. Oop. Oh, that's weird. What is that all about? There we go. All right, so it's using the volume. So I can do something like, you know, stock photos or something like that to make it a little bit more user friendly. Now it would be kind of neat if I could designate, and I probably need to go look at the docs, if I could designate the credit to go to a field that's part of the assets. Well, I'm getting, there we go. So you can see right now it adds it to the title, which is fine, but I wonder if it'd be cool if I could have it go to like a different field. All right, so that's pretty neat. Oh, I wanted to, look how big some of these photos are. I wanted to go look at the docs really quick. So I go to plugins, to the plugin, hit docs, and it's a 404. All right, so this is like the second time I've had a 404 for docs. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating. So it looks like the name, it was renamed. That's probably why. But make it easy for me to get to the docs. That's a really important part of evaluating a plugin. That's pretty cool though. So you have to configure at least one asset source so it has a place to save your image. That makes sense. Oh, there is an OAuth option that they are planning to do. Cool. It's a pretty great project. So if you don't know, Unsplash Let's load that up. This is like a free high-res photo site. Some cool stuff on here. And you should look at the license. So you can be used for free, commercial, non-commercial. You do not need to ask permission or provide credit, though of course you want to provide it if you can. Yeah. So it's pretty much a wide open license. So pretty nice service, as long as everybody that's on there wants to be on there, meaning that people aren't accidentally having their photos stolen and put up there. All right, let me go back here. There we go. All right, so yeah, so for that, it would be cool to be able to specify like the credit to go into another field. I think it's nice. The title, I guess, is fine too. And I guess they don't have titles for these photos. Let me go back to the photos and see actually what you get with each one. So it does, yeah, so it does have a description. It would be cool to get this stuff here. Location, here's the info. Yeah, so it has a title, a date. If this is available via the Unsplash API, it would be super cool to have access to that. And then to be able to assign what is available, map it to a field in the asset. And that way it can be a little bit more controlled about how we're using that data, maybe to match images or files that we're uploading to the site. All right. Let me just check something really quick here. What have we been streaming? About 53 minutes. We'll go for a little bit longer. So let's go back to the plugin store and find another one. Almost done with my coffee too. It's only not even 2 o'clock yet. Beam, you can generate CSVs and XLS files in your templates. That can be handy for outputting tabular data or exporting tabular data. Mailer adapters. Oh, that's really nice. Postmark adapter. That's going to be handy. I don't know why it keeps flipping me back to it. An install template. That's really strange. Look at that. What's that all about? I just keep going to the plugin store. Try here. Performance. All right, image optimize. Eager-Beaver for eager loading elements. Async queue. Inlining stuff into your templates. This is great. This is by Andre. This is great for performance if you want to inline a bunch of stuff to keep the number of resources that the browser has to fetch to render a page way down. I haven't used that, but that's on my list actually to use for an upcoming site. GT metrics gives you insight how well your entries load and provides action recommendations. All right, I'm curious about that. Interesting. Scout, full text search upper, cache plugin, transcoder. I believe this is an Andrew Welch one, yeah. You can take any video, transcode it. It's pretty cool. Oh, all right, let's look at a couple more. Well, that's super frustrating. Guess I'll click up here. Forms, fields, simple map, super table. But I really like having the, I like having the plugin store. I know it's not comprehensive, like, you know, the 2 plugins that I have aren't on here, or I guess the one Craft 3. But it sure is great for just exploring. SEO. So this is another SEO one. Of course, there's Andrew's working on SEO-matic, which is sort of the like the SEO plugin for Craft. All right, let's go and look at. Allows you to select a template from a drop-down. Oh. All right. I guess this maybe you want to render a certain template or something like that per entry. Manage your fields and field groups with ease. Field manager. Let's look at simple map. We'll install this one. And then I wanted to continue with Architect. Since I had started working with that plugin, I was going to try to import into a brand new site. So while that's installing, let me pop over here. We're going to use MySQL, localhost 3306, root, password, database name. What did I call this? Architect. Need to create that database though. Let's see. Oh, MySQL keeps dying on me. For some reason, I don't know why. Let's see if we can get that back up. All right. Let's try again here. I'm just setting up a new database. So we have one to connect to. I need to go through and clean this stuff out. No prefix. All right, we can connect, install Craft. Actually, let's do, whoops. Architect test site. All right. Setting up Craft, and there we go. And then we're just going to go into web and valet link architect. And then we'll secure it. Valet secure architect. Let that restart. Go back to, oh, I got an error, gateway timeout. Let's try it again. Oh, I'm in the middle of restarting. Should work now though. See, MySQL died again. That's what happens here. All right. So now, there we go. So now I should also have architect.dev admin. There we are. All right, so I'm going to go to the plugin store, install architect, and then get my Json that I have. So if I go to architect, I can import it here, which I believe I got right there. All right, so this is what I got from my other site, and import. So, all right, so I don't have redactor again. So again, all right, so you have to make sure you have your field types installed if you have some. And I don't have the tweet, which of course I added. So that makes sense. So if I go to the plugin store and I get redactor, install that, try again here. Now it's going to complain about other stuff it's already created, but it will create the body field. And of course it won't create that. So if I go to entries, blog, all right, so it didn't move the fields over. Let's go to my fields, body and external URL. So does it not assign them? Let me look here. Entry types, fields, in a group, section, template, group. So if I remove this, entry types, required field, section handle, because it's not importing it. Oh, I made an error here. Whoa. I made a syntax error. Let's try that again. So field groups, so it's creating field groups, sections, and entry types. But I guess it's not assigning them to the section? Or am I messing something up? Because if I go to the article entry type, it does not have fields. All right, so I'm not sure why that's not working. But we will check it out. All right. Let's flip back to our other site. So that was a test of the architect plugin, which seems really promising. It seems like a nice, looks like they're working on migrations, a nice UI layer over some migration code. Could be cool. All right. And this is, of course, the migrations here that come with Craft, which is still a bit of a code writing manual process. So the only thing I want to do is just check out this little clear caches thing. And then I think we'll wrap it up. So it just gives you this little, oh, okay, that's kind of handy. Clear caches, there you go. Pretty good. All right, so that's it. If you want to learn more about Craft, you can check out Craft Essentials, which is my bundle of courses on Craft CMS. As you can see, you got bunches of videos. There's 5 courses now, including one for Craft 3 and Craft 2, and all sorts of stuff. And you can optionally add in Craft Commerce if you want to learn that. That's for Craft Commerce 1, and I'll have it updated once Craft Commerce 2 comes out. So check that out. You can go to learncraftcms.com, and that'll bring you here to this page right here. Thanks for hanging out here on the stream. Going to drop this out here, hide that, and that, and that, and that, and then bring you back to the splash screen. See you guys on the next one.